Daniel and Matt, thank you for coming to Victoria, and thank you for this really unusual film.
Thanks for having us.
I really enjoyed it, and I want to start off with because you're co-writers on this, right? So I wanna know a little bit more. How did you go about writing? Since you're also acting in a movie, would you act a little bit while you were writing together? Were you writing together in the same room, or were you like just being? So I would like to know about the writing process.
Yeah, we're both actors actually. We started as actors, working in the theater, and so often we'd read it together and kind of act it out, but act it at the computer, So you're kind of acting it out, and oh yeah, that line's good, stuff like that. But as it got further along in the process, we would give, you take that scene and rewrite that and see what you do with it, and I'll take this and da. Yeah, but we never. And then along the way, we had probably before we shot, we probably had 6 readings of it, like with different cast to kind of hear it.
Yeah, they got more and more formal as it went along.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like apartment reads, and then eventually we did a reading in like a boardroom with really important people listening. And the shift, I think, with Daniel is that at a certain point, we didn't know right from the beginning that he was going to play Holloman. We knew at the beginning that we were going to be this. We were writing this for us, but at the beginning we thought maybe it would be both of us acting in it. Maybe we'd co-direct it with other actors. Maybe, who knows? So when we made the decision that I would direct and he'd be Holloman, then it kind of started crystallizing, and the rewriting became about that. And for him, he started really getting deep inside the character in the writing process.
Is there such thing as Canadian sense of humor?
It's funny. We were joking on the car ride here. We drove from Houston, and we were joking about, like, we were talking with another filmmaker who's from New York about what's Canadian, and we were talking about hockey and Tim Hortons and comedians, comedy. Yep. And like so many of the best American comedians are actually Canadian. So I don't know if there's some sort of aesthetic. I mean, I think that dark comedy is dark comedy, and I think that's kind of a universal thing that people who like it really like it, and it. I find, I mean, my learning curve and my research was watching other dark comedies, and they come from all over. They do, but I think what they have in common is that it helps to know. It helps to know going in, because sometimes if you don't know, if you're expecting a happy family comedy and you get this, it throws you for a loop and you go, what did I just watch? Whereas if you kind of know what you're getting into, you can really enjoy it. And I think that, getting back to, is it a Canadian thing? I think that Canadian audiences are conditioned to I don't know, laughing at themselves, I think it's definitely a natural response. But it's hard to know. I don't know what's it like elsewhere in the world,
I think there's probably, in comedy, in Canada, I would say kind of 2 parts. There's the American, like, it's very much of an American influence, but then I think this actually kind of lands with a little more British influence. That's sort of self-deprecating, dark, witty. The language, a lot of the puns and the malapropisms feel very kind of, British in a way. It's a smart humor, not. So I think actually Matt kind of mixes the humor in this well.